for number 2? Thank you. Kayla, what did you get for your answer?
Negative 6x plus 15y minus
What?
24.
What?
That is exactly what I received as well. So what mistake did Amit make? What did Amit do wrong?
He didn't share out. He didn't distribute with all of them inside.
All right, so let's remember our classroom rules and routines. What should you do if you have something to say?
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Williams.
It's all right. Any hands? What did Amit do wrong? Serrano.
Everybody's dumb in this class.
Serrano. No, we do not speak that way in
You're
class.
dumb.
It's always
I
like,
would like for you to
no,
make a
you
class-
are.
No, I'd like for you to make a classroom apology.
No, I always raise my hand, and I know
You can
everything.
apologize, or you can go sit down and you can have a referral along with the parent phone call.
Y'all always try to threaten us with referrals.
You have 2 seconds because we have other.
I'm
people.
sorry, class.
All right. Now, what was your answer?
Okay, I got what Kayla got. So maybe you're not dumb. Sorry. Negative 6x plus 15y minus 24.
Okay, so what did
Ahmed.
Ahmed do wrong?
I didn't share the 3 with the 5 and the 8.
Exactly. You did not distribute
It's negative
the
3.
The negative 3. Thank you, Serrano. You did not distribute the negative 3. All right, so remember that's what we learned last week. So remember not to make those same mistakes on your test. Any questions on the warm-up? All right, so today's objective. Kayla, why don't you go ahead and read today's objective for us?
Students will be able to evaluate algebraic expressions with the order of operations.
Exactly, perfect. Thank you. And as Serrano just told us, the order of operations is what, Matt?
The P-E-F. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Now, one thing I want for you to remember, which comes first, multiplication or division? Or how do you determine it?
The multiplication, because it's first in the PEMDAS.
Okay. That's not 100% correct.
Why not?
Because if you can recall, it's multiplication or division, depending on which one you come to first when reading left to right. Do you guys remember that from 6th grade?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and what about addition and subtraction?
Same thing.
It's the same. Addition or subtraction, whichever comes first when you're reading left to right. Okay? All right, let's move on. All right, so what do we have here? We have a picture of a car, a hybrid car, of course, and it's plugged into something, and we have a picture of the plug. So what do both of these pictures have in common?
The plug.
Yes.
The plug.
The plug, exactly. Thank you. So to tell you how that's going to tie into our objectives for today, we're going to learn how to plug in values into equations and then solve them. All right? So let's go ahead and talk about that for a second. Since we're plugging in values into equations to solve them, how do you think we can use this in real life? I'll give you an example. Let's say that you want to buy an Xbox 360.
Ooh.
How much is an Xbox 360, class? Who knows?
$413.99.
You
Let's
rich.
just go with $400.
My
We'll say
mama
it's
don't got money
$400.
like that.
All right? So let's say you also would like to buy some video games to go with it. All right? So the console is $400. Plus the video games, let's say it's $50. You don't know how, and then X is going to represent how many you buy, correct? So before you go to the store, you might want to calculate and see how much money it's going to cost you before you actually get there. All right? So let's say that you know you want to buy 3 games. So let X equal 3. So you have $400 for the video console, $50 for the games, and then X represents what?
You're
Class?
gonna buy
Somebody?
3 consoles?
Let's remember our classroom rules and procedures. Yes.
We're gonna buy three Xboxes.
No, the $400 represents the Xbox console.
Oh.
If you can recall when I said it a few seconds ago. So the $400 represents the actual Xbox. The $50 represents the actual video game. And what does this X represent? Who can remember? Serrano.
Well, it's a variable and it's the unknown. We don't know how many games we're buying.
Well, actually, we do know how many games because I said X equals 3.
Oh, so we're buying 3 video games.
3 video games. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is plug in my number. Replace my variable with my number. Alright, so I'm going to solve using order of operations. So we have 400 plus, what is 50 times 3, class?
150.
150, good job. Then you have 400 plus 150? Class?
550.
550, correct. So you know that you at least need $550 to purchase everything that you need to purchase. All right.
Oh, okay.
Any questions?
No.
All right. So let's go ahead and go through a few examples. And before we go through those examples, let's actually go through with the steps. All right. So when you're actually solving, and these are notes, you're now taking notes. Thank you. I like how Kayla quickly reached for her pencil when I said you were now taking notes. Thank you. All right. So evaluating expressions, the first step you want to take is replace, which is plug in, the variable with the provided value assigned. So basically, you're going to replace the letter with the number that they tell you to. That's step number 1. Replace the letter, which is the variable, with the number that they give you. All right, step number 2. Simplify the expression using order of operations, which we just discussed. And then the third and final step is go ahead and solve your problem. Your end result will be another numeric variable or a numeric value. All right, once you're done taking notes, go ahead and place your pencil down. Therefore, I'll know that we're ready to move on to the next slide. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and do an example. And this is a pretty long equation, but I know you can handle it because you've already learned order of operations and one-step equation. All right, so x equals negative 3. So my first step is to plug in my numeric value into the variable. So that means every time I see x, because x equals negative 3, I'm going to place a negative 3 there. Raise your hand if you do not understand what I just said.
Is it,
Wait, I haven't called you. Raise your hand.
oh,
Serrano,
is it next to the X? It goes above the X?
you replace it.
Oh, plug it in. Oh, okay.
So 43 squared.
Remember to wait until you're called on. Yes.
So 43 squared. Because we replaced the x and the 3. So
Okay.
No, it's for negative 3.
All right,
40
class,
negative 3.
remember, on Monday, you missed your raffle drawing. So nobody was able to win any prizes because y'all were not on your best behavior. So I'm going to solve it so we'll all be on the same page. All right? So you're going to have 4. And when a number is next to a variable, that means what, class?
You're
You're
multiplying.
multiplying. So 4 times negative 3 squared minus 2. And I see another x. So I see another x, so that means I need to replace
negative 3.
that x with the negative 3. Plus 3. So now I'm going to use order of operations and go ahead and solve because that's the next step. operation. It's just the number in parentheses, which stands for multiplication, as you can recall. So there's no parentheses. What's next? Exponents. Do I see exponents?
Yes.
I do.
Hello, 2.
All right, so it's going to be 4 multiplied by...
-9. -6, sorry.
Okay, I'm going to do this one.
Oh,
and then
sorry.
I'll give y'all a chance to do so.
Gotcha.
All right. So -3 squared will be, Kayla? All right, class, what does...
6.